Okay, we're good. What's up, everyone? This is Rose's Hot Takes here, and we're here talking with the longest reigning CCW Cyber Championship Wrestling Champion, Mr. Cashout. Mike, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I am doing phenomenal today. Let's talk about the high and lows and ups and downs now of your career. So, how you been feeling as of lately?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I can't say I've exactly been in the right mental state, but after I fixed everything and I got my mental state at least back to where it needs to be, I've been feeling much better, and I can say I definitely have been feeling a lot more back to where I need to be when it comes down to what I've been needing to do. So I feel a lot better, man.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about as of recently. So lately, you've been going for the whole changes with the catastrophe and on and off as of lately about that. So, want to know the status about that?
So from catastrophe is some entity that was created inside of my mind, inside of my mental state. And that version of me was controlling me for a good minute. And this version of me was actually like in a coma until my wife woke me out of my sleep. And it was crazy because catastrophe, I didn't even know that was in me. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know he could come out or any of that. So when it came down to it, and I finally started fighting back and knowing I could fight back, I then made sure that this mental part of my brain, this castle that was made inside my head, I burned all that down so I could get back to where I need to be. And that's standing on business like I'm supposed to do.
Hmm. Anything? What? Anything going for which one to call it? Grind time now these days. How they all been and how they've been doing as of lately, and how great is the faction going to be doing in the future?
Well, when it comes down to my family and the faction, whichever one you want to go with, faction wise, this group will have now been together for about a year. Once the 12th of November comes up, I was actually the third original member when Chris Campbell and TJ Watkins were in the company and they made the group. They recruited me, and then after that, some situations happened. And leader wise, if you're talking faction wise, I took over as the faction's leader. But this is also a family. We've all grown. We all want to see how much better one person can do than the other. So we'll still have, some competitive battles every now and then, promos, gears, matches. It doesn't matter. We'll have some battles, but it's all in the love of this faction, this family, to make sure that we stay sharpening each other's iron.
I can do well there. Say, um, anything about your 9 years in call and how they've been?
Oh man, good lord. It's crazy. When I started, um, honestly, I didn't think any of the stuff that I was seeing would actually go as far as it has call wise. But with the 9 years and then next year going to be 10, with all that happening, it's honestly so weird to just see how much it's grown from what I started out with, just being this kid, legitimately having just this tiny little voice, to becoming one of the best talkers and everyone wanting to hear what I have to say. It all really shows that if you evolve with something you love and you really grow with it, then that progress will really be made. And that's what the progress of Call has been for these 9 years, for me at least.
Yeah, man. Any title reigns you've been liking as of lately? Any rivalries? Any of that stuff?
Um, if I would talk about any title reigns, obviously besides my own, that I like as of late. I can honestly say the CCW Women's Champion Victoria Monet. She's been killing it along with the women in CCW. Xander being a 2 belt champion now. I've been loving his global championship reign. Loving to see how he's tried to exactly just love how he's been, trying to really elevate the Universal Championship division over on Friday nights. So really, it's not even anyone outside of the company giving or anyone that's outside the company. No disrespect to y'all, but those are the main 2 reigns I'm really looking at. And of course, my little brother Maurice's X Factor Championship reign. He doing some big things with that. Like I said, competitive nature.
That's exactly what it is now these days. It's all about rivalry in the sport now.
No, for real.
Yeah. And anything that has to deal with rivalries, greasy rivalries as of lately. I know there's been some comic relief ones with you and Flint that wasn't even considered a rivalry. Let's just say that's considered a joke in the noggin or two. Give us some laughter, type of thing.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I don't know if there's really any rivalries. Well, there's someone that's trying to brew a rivalry, and that's the thing. All rivalries start when someone comes to me, when someone calls me out, when someone feels they're better than me, or they feel they have to do something to try to put me in my place. Supposedly, they try to do that. So, a family rivalry, a little friendly competition rivalry, would be one that's been kind of brewing for a good while now, and that's me and Maurice, just to see which one of us is the hungrier dog in the family. But outside of my family, the one person that's currently trying to get their hands on me and really trying to eat at my table and trying to get fed as much as they can, as many scraps as they can get, would be Zach Storm of the varsity club or whatever team he wants to be on now. So, I mean, he's came to me. He's tried to call me out. He said he was going to drop some pipe bombs. He cut a promo. It was really just a regular Zach Storm promo, something basic, something I expected. Then I cut his ass down to size. Exactly. I cut his ass down to size, kept it pushing. But I definitely see about Zach in the future, bro. As of right now, I don't got nobody that I'm really beefing with.
Yeah. Anything that you been let's see anything that you've been interested as of lately? Anyone that you want to face? Any rising stars as of lately been going on?
Oh man, when you talk about rising stars, man, there's actually a good couple I really want to step into the ring with and see how good their level of sportsmanship, see how good their professional wrestling is, see how good they are on the mic, and I can name at least 3 off the top of my head that I'm legitimately thinking of right now. That would be what's his name? Dang, it just slipped my head. Oh yeah, Sean Snyder, Damian Hellfire for sure. I need to get into the ring with that man. And Carmelo Murphy. Just some of our rising stars, on the Evolved brand, also kind of be on the mid roster every now and then. But those are some of the guys I really want to see what's up with.
Yeah, yeah, man. Those guys have been killing it as of lately. I've been watching their promos, studying. Every promoter does, and every interviewer, past promoter,
Of course.
interviewer, whatever.
Of course.
But as to the point of this whole thing, anything that you've been really want to get in the near future? Anything, goals, accomplishments, anything like that?
So the
I
first
know you've done
original
it all, so
and that's the crazy thing, especially with all of it actually not even being in my first year of CCW, because that's the thing. My year in CCW is what makes up the 9 years, because I actually hit 8 years this month, but I hit 9 years because CCW's year combines with that because that's also in call. But when it comes down to it, I actually have I have a goal, right? And I always tell people this, no matter who you are or what you do. If you have a goal and you reach that goal, there's people who walk or run or drive to the goal that they want to get to. They finally get to it. They finally achieve that moment. And it feels so great, but it doesn't feel as great as they want it to because they're not willing to see how much further they can push that envelope, to see how much further they can go. I already reached my 100-day mark. I've done it twice now with the championships I have. So I'm like, okay, I've reached that, but I want to see how much further I can go. I want to see what else is on this path, what else comes from this walk that I'm doing. So, with that being said, my next goal is to get to a year as champion because I'm already at 160 days as you and I are speaking, and consider it's about to be 12 o'clock soon. It's going to be 161. So that's my main goal is to get to 365 days as the world heavyweight champion of CCW.
Yeah. As the point is, you've been honestly killing the whole mark, the field. That's what I realize. Now,
Yeah, man.
anyone that stands out for dream opponents, anyone in particular, it can be in, out, whoever. It could be big names to call.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I'm talking about, like who I really have dream match potential with and I know in my head that I want to face, if I'm being completely honest, the two main people would have to be Damian Hellfire, the Evolve champion, the Evolve world champion, because I don't know, something about that kid is just different. He's a phenomenal talent. He's just different. And the other one would be a jester. He knows who he is. And the third one would be the mature version of Maurice. Still has some maturing to do, but he's getting there versus myself. I want to see if this Maurice is the same Maurice I fought at our little Easter special we had a couple months ago. But those are the three main people I can think off the top of my head that I would really want to dream match with in this very moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that you can face, and people have been talking about dream matches. In the comments, people said Quran, Muggsy, few other people.
Good Lord.
There's a lot of names, but that's till the time comes. Till time comes, for sure.
Of course, time tells everything.
Mm-hmm. That's your motto, right? It's all about that grind.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. Anything that you've been really been focusing on with the whole, let's see, building the empire. You've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you want to grasp on? I know we talked about this already. Any notes? Any small pictures as of now?
Man. I
Now
mean,
AC's been one of them. I know he's been popping up.
yeah, definitely. Um, there's been some people, and there's been a lot of people that definitely have seen the empire grow. There's a lot of people that have been the reason it's grown, and I don't mean they've been the reason as in like they helped me with it, as in I've used their bones to build it. um, but I mean, there's been so many people. I sized up with my own family. I sized up with the mob. I sized up with almost every single version of a group or every person that was stepping into CCW, stepping through the doors of call. And I've found a way to take them down in some formality, in some way from what I have in my repertoire, which continues to grow each and every day, whether it's a cash out, a spear, the cash in, aka the anaconda vice. It doesn't matter. And I mean, if I'm giving out notes, if I'm giving out knowledge, here's the thing. Because I've been seeing a lot of people trying to call me out. Like I said, my own brother Maurice. I've seen a lot of people try to say what they say about me. And here's the thing I gotta say. And everyone start taking notes. You know, class is in session for a quick second. The thing about it is this: you have to know that in your mind, doesn't matter what people say. You have to know that you're the best in the world at whatever formality or whatever formation of sports entertainment or a sport that you are doing in general or any kind of business. I always say that I'm the greatest king of all time. Because I've proven that any other king that has came around, I've outdone anything they've done. I've done things in this business no one would have ever thought of. I've been on magazine covers. I'm on a podcast. This is like my third podcast that I've ever been on, which, of course, thank you for the invitation.
No problem.
I have shown people levels that you have to go to, whether that's me being that good guy that you love, that in between guy, or that guy that is just you want to punch in the face. He's just that disrespectful. He's just that disrespectful dude. Whatever way I've shown it, I want someone to be like, I want to be like him. But I don't want them to be like me. I want them to be the first them. So I want them to step out of my shadow and I want them to really build themselves up. Because, yeah, people can say they don't need the praise. People can say that they don't need to be on covers and they don't need all this extra acknowledgement like I'm getting. But here's the thing. I've never once asked for this acknowledgement. I've gotten it. I've earned it from my peers, and I've gotten the respect knowing that I've done better than most and done better than hell, pretty much all. You hear the name Cashout Mike, you want to step into the ring. You want to go on the mic with him. You want to do anything in your power to get a conversation out of the man himself, the legend that will never, it has never ended. So with those notes being tossed out, everyone do your best to try to be like me because there will never be another Cash Out Mike because there's some people that say they're one of one, second to none. Hell, I'm the one and the only.
Yeah, there's only one of whoever, you know. People like that's another thing too. People think they can copy on someone and make a success in a career, but who does that these days? People.
Exactly. People try and copy. People try to do whatever they can, but they can never be as good as that original product.
People think they can do something by copying someone. That's no good. I
Exactly.
seen Flint did it in his little promo, and I have to bring that up again. Copying someone ain't no good. He copies people all the time, but that's another story for another.
Exactly.
And anything about your fun, reigns with other titles, anything like those?
Uh, if my reigns with other titles. Yeah, no, the World Championship's been fun. I've honestly done matches as world champion that people haven't done. Iron Man matches, submission Iron Man matches, ladder matches, last man standing matches. There's probably only a couple matches I've really never stepped in for, but you know, or have stepped into yet. Um, but my other reigns, the No Limits Championship that I currently have, I'm definitely going to make that one more prestigious, which is why every Tuesday, tune in because there will be an open challenge to anyone that accepts it until they can beat me for my championship. And any championship I really touch, I try to make it as prestigious as I can, even if I know that probably the next day I'll lose it. I still want to do something with that. I want to talk about it as much as I can. I want to brag and boast about it because when you brag and boast about things because you know how the situation is and you know what the situation is and you know the facts of it, you keep it pushing and you keep it going. And that's what I've been doing with both title reigns that I have.
Exactly. The title reigns make you who make who the person is in the business. No matter what company it is, it makes who the person is in the business, and it defines your legacy.
I mean, because that's the thing. Like, because some people, it's the title reign makes them. Other people, it's you make the title. I mean, personally, I you ask anyone, yeah, I've had this championship. I've had things to go along with the championship, but I've done things to make myself known before I even had a championship reign of any sort, of any kind, to do things just so I was known. So it's more so in my aspect, I've made the championship, but like you said, there are some careers that have been made because the person had a championship. It's like that person was so great when they had that.
Exactly. People think because winning a champion can define your career. I mean, yes and no. I mean, you could do great and hold mid card titles. You can do great and hold whatever you do. It defines what stands out in the world. People can make an audience stand out if you stand out.
Exactly.
Because people can be like, let's do this. Let's do this. I ain't gonna work. I'm gonna do this. You stick into the right path, and that's what people like about it. People stick to their dreams and follow, and that's what
Yeah, it's definitely different when you actually know you have a dream and you stick to it. Because I think if you can honestly stick to your dream and you don't stop working for it, you can get higher than you thought that dream could go. You can see yourself at as many, big stages as you want, but nothing gets higher or bigger than that one moment when you surpass the dream that one moment in your dream that you've always had. Because then you gotta see what you can make from it, see if it can go somewhere else. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. I mean, shoot, I've done it.
you done it to you done it to people keep an eye on you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the more people that are eyeing you, the more challenges you're gonna take in life.
That is very true.
I just said
Never
this
that.
to the last person I interviewed, and they took the advice very correctly when I told them that.
Yeah, man, it can make. That's the thing, Some advice or some rubs can make or break you in any form, in any way. You just gotta really know how to take it. You gotta really know how to understand it. You gotta know when people are trying to cheap shot you, verbally, physically, mentally. Doesn't matter. Whatever is shown, that's their character. You go from that and you move forward and see how you can get better.
Exactly. Because people think they're gonna have a career and do great things with it, and it's like, no, you ain't gonna get a Brock Lesnar push in a few months. You gotta earn it.
Exactly.
People think, and I'm just gonna say that people think they're gonna have gimmicks that are not gonna draw a crowd that does off with it. The only way how you can make a gimmick great is if you make it great.
Yeah. I
That's the
mean,
that's the only way. You can have inspirations of it. That's what catastrophe is, an inspiration of Bray Wyatt.
exactly.
Rest in peace, Bray, by the way. But yeah.
Rest in
Oh, oh,
rest his soul.
yep. It's a sad day that we can't. we can't talk about right now because I don't remember what happened that day. But yeah, it was. You can make the call and the character and do greatness. I've been let's see, I've been used to be active since 2K since 13, 2K14. And I've been
Yeah.
active for that amount a long time and recently hit 17 retirement. I realized for all these years doing call for everyone, doing this stuff, that it's tiring. But you know what keeps people going? Motivation and the audience, and you give people what they deliver.
Oh God,
Because the only person that can make the character is you.
that's just fact.
Yeah. So another thing I want to talk about is your
Hmm.
favorite pay per view match of all time.
Oh, good Lord. My of one that I've had, or just in general.
One you had. What is your favorite opponent you ever faced?
My
I know
favorite opponent.
there's a few. There's Ryan out there, but
Yeah.
that's my favorite match. You and Ryan are always a classic in my book. But I want to hear what is your favorite of all time for a pick?
My favorite pay-per-view match, I would have to say, was me and Ryan at Dynasty in the Last Man Standing for the No Limits Championship. That man would not stay down, and I had to put three cash outs on him just to win my championship and retain it.
I know you and him had long term history when it comes to y'all at Blitz in November. I'm not November, January of this year. When which one to call it covered my spot because I couldn't make the flight.
Yeah.
But you've been going at it for there. That Hell in a Cell match was probably your favorite match that you ever done too. The 3 on 3.
Oh yeah, man. That 'cause let's see, there was the Cage of Death, which was just Hell in a Cell. There was the War Games. Good Lord.
Blitz.
Yeah, there was. Oh yeah, there was Blitz. There was New Dawn. There was so many matches that I've had that I genuinely love, and I love to see how far I can push the envelope. I mean, like I said, granted, it wasn't my best match, but just had a ladder match with AC, all that. Just it's been great. It's all really just been great.
It's been great indeed, and a wonderful ride has it been.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate this wonderful interview that we had. Anything that you got to say before we're done with the conversation?
Um, the last thing I would have to say is that I don't know who's gonna hear this. I don't know who's listening right now, but I want to say this. Don't give up on your dreams. Make sure that you are the best version of yourself, and make sure that even if you do look up to me, that you create your own version, your own memories of what you do. And just know, with that also being said, I'm better than all you fuckers. I'm better than anybody that has tried to touch me or my reign. And sincerely, all royal and loyal subjects and all peasants, this has been your king, Cash Out. Mike.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.